Hello, Owl fans, and welcome to another season of FAU Baseball. It's a beautiful day here in Boca Raton as the Owls continue their preparation for the 2010 season. This is the FAU Baseball Insider, your official home for all things Owls baseball throughout the entire season. My guest, who will be my guest every week on the show, head coach John McCormack. Coach, let's start with an easy one. Pitchers and catchers report, four of the greatest words in the English language for any baseball fan. You guys have been at it for about a week and a half now. How's spring practice going so far?
So far, so good. We're kind of zeroing everything in. We'll be starting in about 10 days, but practice has been very good so far. What's
the most important thing during these spring practice times to get yourself ready for the season? Obviously, a little bit of rust to wear off from those, winter months, but, what do you guys have to do to get ready for the February 19th opener?
Well, the first thing is you want to make sure your pitchers are up to a certain pitch count. The starters have to be about 60, 65, maybe 70 pitches, and then the relievers, of course, you want them to be able to throw back-to-back days. Then the other thing is, and the most important thing, is just trying to keep people healthy for the opening day. Pitching
was kind of a rough spot for the team last year. You guys signed a lot of players in the offseason, got a little bit of depth to that staff. Do you think you'll be ready to go in 2010?
I think so. Like you mentioned, we had in our recruiting had focused on the pitching staff, and we know in baseball pitching is everything, and we certainly believe we have more depth to the pitching staff, so we'll see what happens. I like the guys, I like the group that we have. They have a really good understanding of what needs to be done to get people out.
If you had to select one or two starters and maybe a reliever that you would key on for this season, who would that be and why?
Well, I think you have to look at Taylor Everest. He's coming from Tallahassee Community College. Of course, Mike Gibson's returning, and then Glenn Troynowski in the bullpen has a chance to have a really special year. His stuff is really good. We've kind of settled on that closer role for him. He is comfortable with it, so I'm looking for big things right off the bat from him.
Let's move over to the offensive side of the baseball. The team hit over 300 last year, and you've got four of those starters who hit over 300 coming back. What do you expect at the plate this season?
Well, offensively has never really been an issue for us. I think in general over the years we've swung the bat well. I think that when you talk about position players, I think the most important thing you have to concentrate on is the defensive side of things. Offensively, we're going to be fine. I don't know if we're going to hit as many home runs as we did in the years past. We have a little bit of a different team, but defensively is the most important thing. A good defense really helps that pitching staff, so that's one of the things we've kind of concentrated on. I think that we're a very good defensive team at this point. We have a few holes to shore up, but that's one of the things that will help the pitching staff.
Something that you did this year that you haven't done in previous seasons was you named two captains, Mike Almodejo, a catcher, and Lou Mori, a right-handed pitcher. They're going to be your captains for this season. What do you need from them leadership-wise to have a strong year?
Well, that's fire and ice. Mike Almodejo is fire. He is your consummate catcher, aggressive, talks a lot, very energetic. Lou Mori is a little bit more of the stable, kind of ice in his veins type of guy that leads through example. In the team that we have, I don't think we need a captain to run around and get guys going. I think that they just need to be there to show the guys the way.
You mentioned a lot of newcomers on the team this year, some new freshmen, some new junior college transfers. How do you get them all to gel together and, perform as one unit on the field?
Well, gelling together, it's baseball. Baseball is a pretty universal game in terms of, when you go from little league to senior league, it's the length of the bases. But the game's the same. The game's the same, as some of these guys played in community college and high school. But personalities, what we try to do is we spend a lot of time together. We do different things as a team, different team functions to try to spend some time together. I think this team, that's the least of our worries. This is a really good group of guys.
All right, we talked about the players. Let's move over to the coaching staff. You yourself starting your second season as head coach of the Owls, and you've got your entire staff back this year. Talk about your coaching staff and what they bring to the table.
Well, energy, young, enthusiasm, aggressiveness. We're very player-friendly. We work hard. We spend a lot of time with the team, which I mentioned before. The coaching is it's nice to have everybody together. I don't know, last year when I got hired, Jason came on 2 months later. Then Brad came on. After that, another third month. Then Ben didn't get here until November of last year. Now we've been together for the full year. It makes things a lot easier. We kind of have a better feel for each other in terms of assignments and duties and stuff like that, strengths and weaknesses. So we're looking forward to a good year.
February 19th, opening day. You're starting your second year. What are you most excited about to get things underway this season?
just getting to play. You know, you spend so much time doing other things, you know, practice and weights, and you know, you do a little community service, and you're out, you know, trying to raise some money, and you have academics, and you know, finally on the 19th at 6:30 it's first pitch, and it's all baseball all the time. And the other stuff is fun. The other stuff, it's certainly has its part in it, but you know, baseball, the essence of it, like you said, that first pitch when the umpire says play ball, that's the fun part. You know, we have the game, it's our group against their group, and we'll see what happens.
All right, the second season of the John McCormack era begins on February 19th right here in Boca Raton against Cincinnati. Until next time on the FAU Baseball Insider, I'm your host Jared Smith. For my guest, head coach John McCormack,
At the ballpark.
see you on opening night.